FM News Talk 97.1.
On demand audio.
I was just telling you about the ridiculous way in which Democrats in Indiana were reacting to Richard Murdoch's completely non-offensive quote. They're simply angry at him because he did not say, "I love abortion and I love taxpayer-funded abortion even more." He didn't say that, and so they're trying to punish him. I was really pleased to see that early on in the fight over the Missouri Senate race, Senator Jim Demint, who has long been one of the most conservative members of the Senate, been a big stalwart supporter of conservatives, and has been helping to groom the new young gun conservatism in Washington, D.C. He was one of the first people to throw his hat in the Aiken ring when everyone else was still wringing their hands and passing the smelling salts. And Senator Jim Demint joins us on the phone right now. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. The way I see it, it's either Todd Aiken or Harry Reid. It's not a hard decision for me, and Todd has a long voting record for the conservative cause. He's a good man of character, so obviously said something he shouldn't, but I think the people of Missouri are smart enough to see that this is a man who can help turn the country around.
To me, I look at it as though a 6-second comment that he realized wasn't a great comment to make. To me, that seems less egregious than a 6-year record of a very liberal senator who voted with Barack Obama 98% of the time. And as you said, one of the first things she's going to do when she gets to Washington, D.C., if reelected, is vote for Harry Reid. The two are incomparable.
They are, and people are making a choice between repeal Obamacare with Todd Aiken or keep Obamacare with Todd Aiken. They're making a choice between creating a better economy and moving forward with balanced budgets and how to save Medicare. But we know what we're going to get with Claire McCaskill is a continued Obama agenda, which is not working. So, again, I know the people of Missouri are smart enough to know what's at stake here. Literally, our country could be at stake, and the majority of the Senate is at stake here. So this is no time, like you said, to take a 6-second comment and dismiss a decade or more career and make another 6-year mistake.
Right. Do you see this as becoming a tactic in the overall strategy that Democrats are using to try to pick off solid Republicans in the Senate? Because here we had the situation in our Missouri Senate race, and media made a bigger deal out of this than they have Claire McCaskill's scandals. Her companies are being sued for sexual harassment. A whistleblower in her companies are alleging that they were cutting business deals in the Senate dining room related to stimulus cash. And here now you have the case in Indiana with Richard Murdoch. The man said nothing offensive. The left is trying to Aiken him. Do you think that because of the initial reaction to Aiken's comment that this has given Democrats an open door to use this tactic again and again?
Yeah, I think unfortunately Republicans were too quick to throw Todd under the bus and didn't give him a chance to deal directly with the people on the issue and try to correct it. So Republicans made it worse. But I think what you're seeing is the Democrats cannot run on their record. Obama can't, Claire McCaskill can't, certainly bail out Joe Donnelly here and Indiana can't do that either. So they're looking for things that have nothing to do with the debate now in front of the Senate and turning our country around. They're just trying to distract from the issues by latching on to things like this, just 2-second comments or things that they think will get the media in a feeding frenzy. And a lot of times the media falls for it. Right. But I just believe Americans are too smart to vote for another 4 years of what we had in the White House, another 6 years of what we've seen with Claire McCaskill. And certainly if you look at, and I'm going to keep calling him Bailout Joe because the bailouts were what he supported, and Obamacare is what he supported, and trying to criticize Richard Murdoch because he said all children are precious to God. That's certainly not offensive to me.
And what do you make of, and I won't get into their names and all of that because I still think that we have to win in November, but I'm really disappointed in a couple of Indiana Republicans and some New Hampshire Republicans as well who have they've jumped ship with Murdoch. I know one of them canceled a scheduled trip to campaign with him today. Another representative in Indiana demanded that he apologize. It seems to me like they're trying to Aiken him over nothing.
Well, Well, I'm on the way now to Indianapolis. I'm going to spend the next day with Richard, just telling people how important it is that we get him in the Senate. The guy is so genuine. If you've had a chance to hear him speak, he really connects with the crowd, and he's just a solid conservative, a man of good character, and I've been at odds with the Republican establishment a lot. And frankly, that's endeared me with people all over the country, because in order to turn our country around, we're going to have to take stands not only against the Democrats and the lobbyists and the media. Sometimes we have to take a stand against Republican leadership they're not going in the right direction. So I'm not a bit worried that some Republicans might feel like they need to distance themselves, because really the people now are going to make the difference. And I'm traveling. I was with Josh Mandel in Ohio today, and I'm going to keep doing it with conservatives, because we have a chance to put Richard Murdoch and Josh Mandel and Ted Cruz next to Marco Rubio and Pat Toomey and Mike Lee and Rand Paul, and the Senate will be totally different than it was, and we can make those decisions that we have to make.
Stress for a moment the importance of winning the Senate and just how unbelievably close we are, because this is. I don't want to give people a false sense of optimism, but I'm optimistic. I mean, I don't want to inflate our chances, but at the same time, this is winnable. We can do this, so long as we stop getting distracted by these big bird tactics from the left.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, because Richard Murdoch was trending several points ahead, and I think that'll continue. But I just don't think the people of Indiana are going to fall for this. And but the difference between having 51 Republicans is the difference between really repealing Obamacare, fixing our tax code, saving Medicare, and we can do it with 51 votes because of the procedural opportunities we have if we pass a budget, and we can do that. But if we have what we've got now, or even 49, Harry Reid will still be in charge, and even if Romney is in the White House, we won't be able to get anything done. So there's a lot at stake, and I'm not going to give up on any Senate races. They're trending positively. Josh Mandel, the last poll I saw, was actually a point ahead in Ohio. We've got Tom Smith in Pennsylvania, who no one gave a chance against Democrat Bob Casey, and he's now close to winning that race. And so I think we could have some surprises, but I certainly don't want to give up on Missouri, and Indiana should be in the win column for Republicans.
Exactly. And people need to get out there. They need to get involved and stay engaged. And Senator Demint, I want to thank you for not giving up on Missourians, Missouri conservatives, because there were many Republicans who did. You have always been a stalwart, and I so appreciate all of the work that you've done. And you are absolutely committed to having a conservative Senate. And I think that if that happens, the Republican Party owes you a giant thank you and a good deal of credit. Well, they owe you and the talk radio all over the country, and activists, Tea Partiers, people who decided to take their country back. That's who I owe a debt to, and I certainly express it every chance I get, because getting the power out of Washington back in the hands of the people is what changed things in 2010, and I think we can do even better in 2012. Absolutely. I appreciate you so much taking time out of your schedule to come and talk with us this afternoon. You're welcome back anytime. Senator Jim Demint, thank you much. Thank you, Dana. All right, take care.